mode. Dynamic banter. Time to shut up and start the show.
Hello? Welcome back to this edition of Did We Make It Through Disaster?
Find out at the end of the episode if we made it.
Right. It's your host, Mike and Steve, and your guests, Mike and Steve.
This is great. I love having Mike and Steve on the show.
They're some of our favorite guests. They've been on so many times. They've been on every episode of this show.
Yeah. There's something there's something I love about when you watch another show, someone else's show, or a show you like.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling that, like, this cast was good.
There's something about watching a show with a cast you like and being like, these guys are good.
Did you ever love it when
when
something's good? Do you love it when someone's good?
Let me check back.
Did you love it when someone you love would pop in to a show that you
Crossover show?
Yes.
Because they were filming in the studio.
Yeah, dude.
When Mr. Cooper was on Family Matters.
Yeah. How many times was like Andre the Giant on some TV show?
Yeah.
Like or like Hulk Hogan.
Dude,
What do you mean, Deborah?
The best was when they're like they come in through the door and the audience cheers.
Goes nuts.
And then they can't say anything for a long time.
They're just kind of looking around. Do you
That's
think
my
anybody's ever been sad about the length of applause?
Sad about it?
Like it was like, woo! And then done.
Yeah.
And then they're like, can we cut that actually? And they're like, get the fucking warm-up guy out there to get him more excited.
Yeah.
We need a bigger goddamn applause.
Right. This is Mr. fucking Cooper.
This is Mr. fucking Hooper, man.
This is Desi fucking Arnaz.
Yeah, you asshole.
This is Vic fucking Tayback.
We got Scott fucking Baio for 15 minutes.
Scott's like upset that it died down.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm fucking...
I saw what happened when you brought Magic Johnson out here.
Yeah.
And it went on for a long time.
Damn. That's so funny. You never think about celebrities' feelings because it's almost like they're not real people. They're like little puppets.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to love when fucking Dag
Aykroyd?
Dag Aykroyd.
Did you see that Saturday Night Live movie?
Yes, and I fucking love it.
I didn't. We brought in the third drummer real quick for the end of that.
That was
I
the
fucking love that
special guest
movie.
popping
That movie
in
was
on
so
the-
much fun.
It's great.
That movie was like Ocean's 11 for comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Ocean's 11, the stakes are like crazy. Like these guys could go to prison for life. People could die. And in the SNL movie, it's like this show that ends up being legendary could end up sucking so fucking bad and being a bad choice. And then we just never see it again. We never see it.
Yeah, that would be funny to be like in the writer's room. You're coming up with that movie and there's two easels.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, on this easel, it's all the stakes for Ocean 11.
Yeah.
These guys can get shot and killed. These guys can go to prison for life. These guys can get the death sentence. These guys can get extradited to other countries. Over here on the Saturday night, the show might suck. If
The
they
show
don't
might
get it.
suck. So how do we get it there?
Hold on, there's another page for the Ocean's 11 thing.
But see, we're in the future when we watch that movie. You time travel when you watch those movies that are not in our time, you know? That movie was not in our time. And, you know, that. So you're looking in on it a little bit. You're looking in on the 70s and you're like, we know what happens. And we know that SNL ends up being like this fucking, like, genre-defining, you know, media-changing show.
Yeah,
like
we know the show didn't suck.
It's important. But if that show didn't happen, that would have been crazy.
If that show didn't happen, there would have been no Blues Brothers.
No Blues Brothers.
There
No
would have been
Coneheads.
no Ghostbusters. Ghost Brothers.
Probably not.
Which is the one where Slimer and Vigo sing the blues all over the country to get their friends out of jail.
That's Blues Busters.
There would be no Stripes.
There would be no Stripes.
I was talking about Stripes with somebody the other day, and I was like, I remember the first 45 minutes of Stripes.
I know, because once they're in the army stuff, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I was on a podcast, the Sklar. Do you know who the Sklars are?
Yeah, those guys are great.
I was on their podcast, and they were, before we went in, they were like, third act really falls apart in Stripes.
I can't remember the fucking third act. There's
So
like
apparently,
love story.
I couldn't remember either. But apparently there's like this new super weapon
Oh, that's
that
right.
looks like a van.
That's right.
And they go behind enemy lines in the van to like rescue the sergeant or something. And then the sergeant was an alien, a bisexual alien or
Was he
something
an
like that.
There's Alien? Oh my god, I want there to be something sci-fi in that movie so
The
bad.
sergeant was trans, I think. At the
That was sci-fi in the 80s when someone was trans. They're like, that's an alien. I can't imagine not having vagina.
But they had to rescue them. You got to save the cat.
Yeah, that would have blown my
So
mind.
is that-
So is that. She's like, this is too much. Too loud. But yeah, Stripes is one of those movies that like needs to happen. That movie needs to exist also.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have Ghostbusters and shit. But but we certainly wouldn't have it without.
We would
Without
never have
SNL.
the filmatic or the cinematic masterpiece Night at the Roxbury.
Oh my god, the only movie I ever walked out on. Truly, dude.
Everything that happens in that movie happens in the introduction to that movie.
I guess I just
Like the song plays and you see those guys and
Yeah.
that's it.
you can't possibly imagine what they could do with that in
You
a full
can't make
90
a fucking-
minutes.
Like Wayne's World, they made a whole
They made a
like
world.
2 or 3 movies out of a sketch.
Yeah.
And then some of them just don't. At least like it's tough to make a movie out of characters who don't say anything. Like your whole thing
Right.
is that you are in a nightclub and you bop your head up and down.
Yeah, that's the bit. You can't have them just be silent.
I can't watch that for 90 minutes.
Dude, I think you're actually describing why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it doesn't work.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Not because it's just a bad movie. It's because there's no consideration
Right.
at all.
Well, it's bad when it doesn't work. And before you talked so much about how when a movie is good, that's like good.
It's greater when it's good. It's better when things are good.
And it's impossible to know, even though we have AI and past experience, what is going to be bad or good before the movie is made.
Yeah.
Like movies are still, that's why no one works in Hollywood. It's because they don't make anything. They don't like take a chance on anything. Not with a lot of money. They have to be like Fred from YouTube has to be in it, or else a million people aren't going to watch it.
Dude, I really thought we had gotten through that part.
Mr. Beast is going to be the next 007. And it's going to be like, money penny, send me 1,000 monies.
Dude.
And I'm going to give them to a homeless man.
And then he does that weird, awkward smile into the camera, and you're just like, ugh.
I've never actually seen any of his stuff. I like being on the outside of certain things so I can just I just know what that is through people's observations of it.
His stuff is like what AI thinks good YouTube content is.
Yeah, like do something outrageous,
Yes.
give people a lot of money.
Yeah, make it really big. Like the only Mr. Beast thing I've ever seen is
It's when he fed Orbeez to that homeless guy.
Yeah, and forced him, and then they poured water down his throat. They're like, "What happens? What happens if you give a guy Orbeez?"
Mr. Beast fed 30 extinct sea turtles Orbeez for a month. And he gave each of the turtles $1 million.
But then, yeah, and then he bought like an island to be a turtle sanctuary,
Right.
for orphan turtles.
He bought Epstein's Island.
Yeah,
And now does a game show
repurposed
on it.
Yeah,
They gentrified Epstein's Island.
yeah, they did. There's a Mr. Beast burger over there.
There's a Chick-fil-A on Epstein's Island
Yeah.
now because of Mr. Beast.
So-
That's such a funny Mr. Beast hired 1 million Orbeez to fight Jake Paul at Caesar's Palace.
Brought to you by Lunchables.
Dude, the first episode of Raw having Fortnite in the middle of the...
Matt showed me that.
What's
That's
happening, dog?
crazy, dude.
And then the fires.
I don't want to talk about the fires.
Well, we should talk about it a little bit, dude.
Okay.
It's very rare that two people on a podcast have been through so many natural disasters. Like, I was thinking that Corey, shout out to Corey and Leah and Josh and Kevin.
Our team, the DBT.
Shout out to the DBT.
The DBT.
You can get some DBTs in the store right now, and
That's
they go
right.
directly towards helping people who are evacuated.
That's right.
Which is me and Zoya.
Yeah.
So I went to I had a show in San Diego on Wednesday, which is like when it started getting bad, and then we just like stayed there because it was wacky, and we were kind of like on a day-to-day basis. There's this app called Watch Duty, which is like if I could ever handpick. Sponsor wouldn't work because they're like a nonprofit. They need money, so they wouldn't sponsor but if I could wipe the show of sponsors and just do Watch Duty, it's been the best for 1,000
shout
reasons.
them out big time.
Watch Duty, dude.
Yeah.
If you have an extra $1, just give it to the app Watch Duty.
What is Watch Duty?
Dude, you don't know about this shit?
No.
If you lived here, you'd know about this
I know.
shit.
I moved away and I turned a blind eye.
Dude, it's this app where you see basically where the fires are.
Okay.
And
It's up to date and it's
yeah, it updates like every couple minutes.
All right, we're gonna get it then.
It's fucking awesome. And it was also a lesson in it's so nice to just know the facts from a site where like first responders are like the department is populating it with facts. It's not like the news.
The news
Dude,
is
the
a
news,
nightmare, man.
I came to like the end of my realization about the news during this. It's the news, and tell your parents this, is just a television show that like needs to sell ad space and hold people's attentions like a 24/7 TikTok at all times. So it was so nice to be able to get information about like whether or not we had to go and how close the fires were from a department run app rather than like a man in a suit from way far away being
that are
like,
stopping
this is
people
like-
from evacuating to interview them. Did you notice that, dude?
No, I haven't watched any of the news.
So,
and then I went to, dude, listen to this shit.
Yeah.
So we evacuated to San Diego and we just stayed there with the exception of like after, I think on Friday, all the days are, I don't know. We came back up because it looked like it was dying down. And we literally came back up, did laundry. I took a nap, was woken up by my phone being like, get out.
Oh, yeah.
And then we grabbed as many of our like valuables and important documents as we could. And we packed everything in a panic. I like took the base of that computer. I took all my cameras and like 2 backpacks and we throw it into a car and we left again.
Yeah.
Right. So then we're just in San Diego, and shout out to Madhouse Comedy that was giving me just throwing me on shows so I could still like work when I was down there.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, shout out Madhouse 2-time. This battery has 1 dot left, so we'll see how long that lasts. What else could go wrong?
Dude, remember
I slip on a banana peel when I go to change the battery and break my fucking neck.
Do you remember the early DB days when it's like we were like
2 bar.
Yeah, 2 bar
Yeah.
recording on GarageBand.
Yeah.
And the battery, the cable, like I couldn't find the cable, so it's like we're doing a show till it ends.
Right. That's what this is.
We're doing a show till it ends.
So we were down there. We stayed down there for a couple days with that nice little 3-hour long break. And then I was getting water and snacks and stuff in just the corner store down the street from the hotel. And the news was on. And while I was in line, I was just looking at it for a second. And it was Fox, of course. And they were like, this is the craziest shit ever. And then they kind of stopped what they were saying. And they were like, Fox just donated $1 million to Los Angeles. And I was in the mindset where I was like, suck your own dick,
Yeah,
Fox.
yeah.
Like, who you're
Newsflash, here's what we did.
because you need to be on, like, it's not just information 24/7. There's like the way people feel about everything and what they think they're doing about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, thank you, Fox, appreciate it. Don't know where it's going, but I'm sure that it'll find a home.
And where it came from.
And then when they came back from that, they were like, here's a clip from a couple years ago. Here's Joe Rogan talking to Mel Gibson about how much California sucks now.
I saw that.
And I was just like, what purpose does it serve? And then from there, I was just like, here's kind of how I feel from now on. Unless it's like a positive, nice thing, if you're outside of the area being affected by the thing, I don't need to hear your commentary at all. It doesn't mean anything unless I like seek it out.
Yeah.
And the internet is just like, you hear everyone's commentary and it's fed to you. It's called a feed. And you scroll and you're just like, here's the way everyone feels about shit. And there's like comics from other parts of the country like making jokes about stuff. And I'm like, joke about whatever you want, but it doesn't mean it's good.
Right.
Just the same way you could joke about whatever you want in the room with people. And it doesn't mean you're a good comic. And if people don't laugh, it means like there's that whole Anthony Jeselnik thing about like good comedy is like getting away with it.
Yeah.
But if it stops people in their tracks and they're like, oh, that's not funny.
Right.
Then it's like, entertain the idea that you are making jokes, but that doesn't mean that they're good and working.
Right. And you got to read the room. There's so much reading the room when there's like a disaster going on like this, where real lives are like at stake.
Yeah.
People losing their homes and shit.
It's just nuts.
There's
man.
a decorum.
So many of Zoya's clients lost everything. Like she was saying to you before the show started, like places that we've been are just gone, and it's not just rich people.
Right.
And to have that kind of dude, there was this one. I'm not going to get into it because I'm probably going to see him at some point, and I really don't harbor any ill will towards people, but I just. Being in it gives you a kind of a unique perspective.
Yeah.
Where there was this one comic, they were screenshotting their own tweets about like just these like good that LA is burning, like good.
Yeah.
There was one that was like
cool edgy jokes.
Bad news. Yeah, it's when you get really good comics that blow up, you get babies of those comics. And there are people who are inspired and are now like coming up through the ranks. So like in the 2000s, there were a lot of like Mitch Hedberg babies.
Yeah.
Like Patrice O'Neill used to talk about this. There's a class of comics that sound like other people until they quit or don't sound like that anymore.
Right.
So now it's like you have like Jesselnick babies and
like Bo Burnham,
like Mark
too.
Barron babies and Bo Burnham. Like everyone who is popular kind of spawns a bunch of other people. So it's like basically like a Jesselnick baby, which is, again, joke about whatever you want, but sometimes, you know, the timing is off or like it's just not that funny depending on the audience, I guess. And they were like, one of them was a screenshot of a tweet that said, bad news, LA is burning. Good news, LA is burning. Right?
Such a stupid low-hanging fruit joke.
Of course. And that's the other thing. It's like, the better you get, the more you kind of challenge yourself, and you don't have to be like first to the line shock person anymore. But if it works for you, go ahead and pay your bills. But I was just like, I don't know why I had such a visceral reaction to it, but I was like, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, screenshotting your own tweets about a disaster and being like, that's good. And you're going to put yourself in a position where you're better than anyone you think is here doing bad things.
Right.
It's like you're just lowering yourself to everyone you think you're getting.
Yeah.
But not having the foresight and the self-awareness and the perspective to know that.
That's it. Because it's like you're playing to a crowd of people that are like, I just keep thinking about how stupid people are in general. Like, you know, I'm stupid too, for sure. But it's so stupid to think about California and LA as just one thing. Rich, annoying, pompous, like entitled rich people.
Right.
And it's like, that's not. And it's so frustrating when people are like, LA is this, New York is this, New York. I mean, it's whatever. It's like, it's so stupid to think that there isn't a massive melting pot of people in this fucking part of the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really care if you haven't been to the place. Like, if I talk some shit about, like, Wyoming or something, there's no reason why anyone from Wyoming should give that an extra second because I've never really spent a significant amount of time.
It's annoying.
Right. And it's like when people from whatever thing, it's just if you haven't been to the place and you haven't immersed yourself in like what it's like to live in the place, you don't know, and your word isn't really worth anything. But then your ego is like, no, I have a podcast, or I have a there's 40 people that follow me and they need to hear what I think about no one needs to hear anything.
Dude, it's just that like also the like those jokes hit with people who also aren't here,
who live like down the block from them.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like if that's how you make your money, like do that. But just know that you're not immune from people. Like I guess what struck me about that is like I'm friendly with this person and I hope to be friendly with them in the future. I'm probably going to see him in April, to be completely honest, when I go to Austin for Moon Tower. And it's like if you're putting that stuff out on the same feed, there's people down the block that will laugh. And then there's people like checking their phone to check the watch duty app to see if they need to like leave their home or to see how close the fire is.
Right.
And that comes up for everyone. So it's like that's what reading the room is all about.
And for me the most frustrating part too is just that like there is just this idea of what this part of the world is, and I get it. Like there's a lot of gross shit here, like celebrities are like whatever. There's too much celebrity worship and there's too much pedestal putting of people.
A lot of people are pedostiles.
They're pedestilic.
And I don't know what the numbers.
These pedostiles.
Like I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know what the exact numbers
Dude,
are.
what if
no.
we started calling the people that like Taylor Swift is a pedestile?
Why?
Because she's on the highest pedestal you could ever. You need fucking telescope space. We need the fucking telescope that looks at the sun's butthole.
Yeah.
To see Taylor Swift up on her pedestal people put her on.
Yeah.
Pedestilic.
Right. Sure.
Anyway, well, I mean...
Got a lot of dates coming up.
Good, let's have them.
On the 17th, I was supposed to be filming a thing for television, and now that is postponed. And now I'm going to be headlining the Brea Improv with my friend Willie Simon and Eric Rocha. Me and Willie's one of my best friends here, and he's one of the funniest people on the planet.
I love that.
And then Eric is another one of our best friends, and they gave us the opportunity to headline a club which we will not fill, but I'll tell you right now, if you contact me directly, text me 818-722-8682 if you've been at all displaced by any of the fires, or if you happen to be a firefighter or a first responder that's like looking for a break. I'll get you in for free, no doubt. That's the
awesome.
17th.
Have some yucks if you need them.
Have some yucks. I also understand that like this will be way gone by the time this comes out, but like the Comedy Store is opening tomorrow, the Improv is opening like in a couple days, just so people could escape.
Yeah,
dude, so many people keep saying like, the "this is fine" meme.
Oh yeah.
Like where all that, like all the comedians are.
Like
so
with
anyway,
you just put a little microphone in that doggy's hand.
Yeah. And the doggy's like, "Isn't it hard to date in a fire?" So from the 24th to the 31st, I'll be doing several shows a night at the Stand in New York City. Next month, February 7th, I'm doing Surrounded in the Hollywood Improv Lab. 2 shows, 7 and 9:45. They've been so much fun, man. The last 2 were so much fun, and I got a lot of really good people in the lineup. So hopefully that all goes down on the 7th of next month. On the 14th of next month, which is Valentine's Day, I'm doing a human romance at the Comedy Store. So if you're a single fireman, there's a city full of women who want to suck your dick off. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is, like, keep that in mind. Dude, also, dog, so many beautiful women in LA. It's like the gays know how to date each other. And then there's beautiful women and men, and there's such a disconnect. And there's been so many of these human romance shows where it's just like these beautiful women show up, and there's like 4 guys that are there. And I'm like, something's off. People need to know about this show.
Yeah, you can get hooked up with a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Even if you don't want that. Even if you're a gay guy.
Go on a date with a beautiful woman,
Dude,
even
so
if you're gay.
If you're a gay guy, you have to come to the show because it's already in West Hollywood. So even if you're not interested in anyone in the show, you're already in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
You can go 2 blocks down and find a date,
And
right?
the gays' observations of the straights are always entertaining.
Yeah, that's why I like to have the gays on.
Love that.
Like, what do you think of these fucks?
Yeah, give it to us straight.
Give it to us straight if you can.
Give it to us gay about the straights.
Dude, that was the original Queer Eye for the Straight
Give
guy.
it to us gay.
Okay, so then on the 15th, I'm going to be at the Siren Theater, aptly named, in Portland, Oregon, with Emily Browning.
Whoa, she's the best.
And Noah Kopfer. So fucking Brea, fucking Hollywood, fucking
Getting
Portland,
out there.
Oregon.
Dude, that's a fucking full lineup.
fucking New York City.
That's a lot of shows, brother.
Yep.
I'm proud of you.
Dude, me and Zoya were saying that it kind of feels like COVID now,
does,
but this
yeah.
time the houses have COVID.
And we have to quarantine from the houses.
Yeah. We have to stay at least 6 feet away from the brush.
At all times. Dude, I'm so fucking sad and bummed I couldn't do that fucking Surrounded show.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to.
I'm so sad.
And everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Dude, I got fucking so sick so fast.
Talk about it.
It fucked me up, brother.
Talk about getting sick.
I was fine all day. I'm not used to being, like, my body gives me a heads up when a cold's coming.
Your body gives heads up.
You expect it. You expect a heads up. I think it's nice when there's a heads up. In any case.
Your body tells you what's in the delivery boxes.
The only time, yeah, exactly. That must know what it has to know.
Your body sends you an invoice, and they're like, "This is what's in the box."
Because your body knows what's in the box.
That's right.
See, the only time that I don't necessarily need a heads up is when I'm getting a surprise, a fun surprise.
Yeah.
So this was not a fun surprise, and we did a whole DB, like we did DB that day. It was like last Wednesday or Thursday or something. No, not now. Not this moment, please. I'm doing my best. Let's cut to a commercial break really quick.
Do you ever want to relax in a pond? Go on down to certain parts of Connecticut and southern New York. They have a pond. We could put your family outside a pond today. Brew some marshmallows. As the night falls, the stars fill up the sky. You look at the pond. We're trying to branch out with our sponsors because they don't all work out.
Yeah, people don't appreciate ponds.
When was the last time you even heard that word?
I mean, it's been a minute. Anyway, so I was like totally fine, and then like that night I started to feel the like heads up, and I was like, oh shit, am I fucking getting sick? And then an hour later I was like fever under the covers, shivering. Like it hit me so fucking fast, and I was like, maybe this is like a little 24-hour thing or whatever, but it would have been irresponsible to come to the show and be that sick and like potentially be like spitting all over everybody and stuff.
Which is part of it. You
felt
come to the
so
Surrounded show,
sad.
you're gonna get spat on.
Yeah, you're in the splash zone. If
Sorry. You're in the spat zone.
you are. You like, whatever. It's fine. What are you scared? But I just felt irresponsible to do the show like that. But I felt really, really sad, and I was like, man, the worst. I hate letting you down.
No, I'm not.
I know, but
dude, when there's a problem, I've been doing that show for so long.
I know,
and I've just been in this stupid line of work for so long.
Yeah.
Between being in bands and doing comedy, someone drops out, you just got to say that is what it is, and then you go forward.
I'm just glad I didn't have to drop out for some stupid reason. Like I can't drive all the way or whatever. You know, like it was something that had to be done. But it made me really sad because I had friends coming out. I had we were advertising it on the show. Yeah. But let's just go hard for whenever you want to have me back.
Let's just go hard.
Let's just fucking go hard, and I would just be, obviously I'd be honored to be on the show, guys. Come on, let's not be stupid.
Guys,
here.
Come on, guys.
I was already honored to be on it, and I felt really sad about it. Hey, guys, how about some ads? Oh, my goodness, that sounds like a great idea, especially since we're around the 30-minute mark of the show, and that's when the ads should go. Listen, we love Squarespace around here. Squarespace is one of our favorite brands to work with because Mike Falzone has a Squarespace website, mikefalzone.com. Check it out if you want to see how cool a Squarespace website can be. And it can be cool because having your own website to showcase your work or sell some kind of thing or be a part of the information superhighway is a very cool thing to do. Imagine getting a job offer or wanting to get a job and someone's like, do you have a resume? Do you have a card or whatever? You can go to myname.com or thisplace.com and it's your website and it's easy to make. It's easy to set up. There's nothing to install. There's nothing to update. And there's 24/7 customer support. That's 24 hours a day and 7 days a week to get some help on your stuff if it ain't working. And trust me, sometimes it happens, but with Squarespace, you're probably not going to need it because it's easy to do. It's so easy, even Mike Falzone can do it. Think about that for a second. I'll wait. So go to squarespace.com and check out Squarespace. Get the free trial, try it out, get your own hands dirty. Then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/banter and you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com for the free trial. And when you're ready to launch, and you will be, go to squarespace.com/banter and you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Don't take my word for it. Go do it. It helps the boys out and it'll help you out in the long run. Let's be honest about that. Thank you, Squarespace. Let's talk about Lisa. And who's Lisa? And who's she? You're not cheating on your girlfriend, are you? Absolutely not. Lisa is a wonderful company that makes the most comfortable beds and more. Things that you can sleep on, and come on, you know how important it is to get a good night's sleep and be comfortable and all of those things because sleep times are important times. It helps you get through the being awake times. Listen, Lisa has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. We're talking the highest quality materials because Lisa meticulously designs and assembles their mattresses in America for exceptional comfort and support. And delivery is free, returns are easy, and you have 100 nights to try out your mattress in the comfort of your home. That's 100 nights. If you're not satisfied after that, get a hold of Lisa. It's very easy, and then you can make your return. Whatever. You're not gonna want it though, because after 100 nights, trust me, you're gonna be sleeping like a baby, just like me. And with Lisa, your purchase has a purpose. Every year, Lisa donates thousands of mattresses to those in need, with more than 40,000 donated to date. How about that? So go to lisa.com today. Lisa's offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. That's a nice gift. I want 2 free pillows. That's leesa.com, lisa.com, leesa.com. And remember, no matter who you are, there's a Lisa just for you.
Dude, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That is not in good taste.
Yeah, I love it.
At one point, I'm watching the Watch Duty app, shout out. And it tells you, it gives you a big icon where the fires are, and then it gives you the parameters of all the fires. Mm-hmm. And at one point, when the Hollywood fire was happening, when the Runyon fire was happening, and then it's like the Hearst fire, and there were like 6.
Yeah.
And they were all around the blue dot, which is my house.
Dude, that's insane.
I've never wanted to do something so bad.
That's really funny.
And talk myself down from it.
we were housing folks. We had like a full house of people that were escaping the like poisonous fumes and evacuations. And we had an air mattress ready to go for anybody else that wanted to crash. It wasn't super comfortable, but it was like the air quality wasn't so bad. So it was like, please, if you want to come,
There's no comfortable mattresses.
There's no comfortable air mattresses, you know? Once you have like, because we actually have a place where we have a room that is actually a guest room.
That's great.
It is like literally, it's got a bed, it's comfortable, it's got pillows and blankets. Like, Owen,
It's just waiting for gas.
Owen's been coming over, and when he comes, he'll just like stay the night or whatever. And he's like, I've never had a friend who has a room for me.
Yeah.
You know? And so it was really cool to be able to be like, we have a room, but because we had like 6 people all in like my place, and it was like any more than that, it wouldn't be comfortable.
You're at capacity.
It's like we could make it work. It won't be super comfortable, but it's better than being out in the fire zone, right?
Yeah,
Anyway, so the next day, we've been having people like since Wednesday. And so there's this little farmer's market that happens where we are, and we just like took a nice long walk to this farmer's market.
That's very nice.
And it was so nice or whatever. And they had this band playing. And there's always a band playing there, and they're not very good.
Sure.
Like, but we love them. It's usually like one guy like beyond his 50s.
Yeah.
With literally like a thing playing a karaoke track.
Dude, you could just say farmer's market band, and
you know
you
exactly.
get a pretty good.
Yeah. And so and we love them though. Like even though they're not so great. Like there's this guy with literally just bongos and like a karaoke track.
Yeah.
And he does like Beatles. I think of all the lonely people.
Dude, of all the song choices, he's playing Eleanor Rigby on a Sunday morning.
No, well, yeah, it is a Sunday morning. And so anyway, it's usually been like whatever, guys. And so this time, I'm bringing my friends over, and we're like, let's get like a little breakfast over at this farmer's market because they have like delicious foods. You're supporting local artisans. And we could hear the band playing, and this time it was a full fucking band, dude. It was like a drummer, a bassist, a rhythm guitar, a lead guitar, and a singer. Mm-hmm. And they were great. They sounded nice and tight, and it was great. And so we got our food, and we sat like really close to them to like listen to them play. And every song they played, dude, they didn't even call attention to it. But every song they played had like a fire thing in it.
Yeah.
It was like Ring of Fire. It was like, come on, baby, light my fire.
Yeah.
It was I'm your Venus, I'm your fire. What's your desire? And we're like, are they? They can't be.
Probably.
Maybe it's their set list.
I don't know what.
I don't know. But they never said like, hope you're enjoying our fire set list. Or like they never mentioned that they're like, we're the fires are going on. Nothing. It's literally just like, thank you everybody and we appreciate it. And this next song is whatever. Yeah. And they were like, we were clapping after every song because they're great. They were really good. Mm-hmm. And they kept going like, well, thank you from table 1. We're getting love from table 1 this morning. And like no one else is like giving a shit about them. But it just felt so weird because it was like fucking fire songs.
Table 1 has like smoke coming off.
Yeah, right?
Seem to be really enjoying
Dude, I don't know. I felt really kind of weird about it. But anyway, it's hard to not think. It's hard to get your mind off of all this fire shit. Because still not, as of us recording this, it's still not 100% contained.
That's correct.
There's still fires burning as we speak.
Yeah, they're saying tomorrow winds are supposed to pick up again. And they're not supposed to be like as strong. Like they're not supposed to be 100 miles an hour.
It's
they're
like
supposed
60.
to be 70 miles.
Yeah, 60, 70.
So we're just, it's very weird, dude. Somebody described it today as like, here's what it's like living in anywhere in this area right now. It's like you wake up, you forget that everything exists for a second, and then you're kind of like jolted awake and you check your phone and you check the app and you check if the air is good, you check to see if you could drink your water, you check to see what the wind is doing later.
Right. If it can hang out.
If it can hang out.
Plans.
You check with the wind's mom.
Can the wind come out and play?
You check with the rain to see if it's still dead.
Dude, you cracked me up when you texted me from San Diego because I was making sure we were checking in on each other, and I was like, I hope you guys are good. And you said, like, motherfucker, there was, like, a fucking little fire that started, like, where we were. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, shit. And you're like, they contained it or whatever. It's fine.
Oh, we got down to the hotel.
Yeah.
And the building next to the hotel caught on fire.
Right. And you were like, and you were showing me all the fire engines and shit. I'm like, Jesus, that's fucking crazy. And I'm like, well, good luck to you guys. You're okay. You were like, fire's gone. We're good. And you were like, I guess the fire came to take a load off.
Just needed a break from LA for a second.
It wanted to get away from the fire.
Yeah, dude, first piece of advice I got when I was down here is just get out as much as possible.
Yeah.
So why should the fire be any different from that?
Get out whenever they do. What did you think about the fucking, because we got like a standard, if you live in LA at all, we got on all of our phones evacuate LA now thing. What did you think about that?
Man, it sucks to get annoyed by a noise. Yeah. And it's like jolting, but it's by design.
Yeah, but that one was a mistake.
Oh, there was a couple, but that's
the mistake one.
If that's what happens, like, that's good. There's millions of people panicking. Somebody's going to press the wrong button.
It just feels like you want to look to a authority to have their shit together. Because we're all confused and scared with zero direction.
But this kind of proves my point, what I was saying about that app. It's like, you can get that, and then look at this thing, like all the zones.
To like double check.
Yeah, there's like a whole system of like whether or not you should evacuate, and there's zones that are different, like color coded. Yeah, so if you're like in the know from the source, you don't need to be like all of your understanding of a thing doesn't come from like a noise on your phone.
Right. It's just that, like, the government rarely texts us. The government kind of ghosts us.
That's Joe Biden texting me every day. Kamala Harris texting me every day.
I know.
For a year.
Yeah, when they want money, right? When they want money.
What are you, my fucking kid?
And it's like,
what are you, my ex what? You my ex what?
Do you ever get, like, there's got to be someone in your life who you're like, when they text me, it's very serious. It means something's up. I don't hear from this person, but when they text me, it's like, this is something I need to look at and take seriously. Yeah. That's the vibe I get from...
Anyone from JFL.
That's very good. Very good. Like, and you can let it out.
All bets are off.
And you can let it out on the show. Dude, it's your show.
All bets are off.
But, like, when the government texts you, you're like, oh, shit, this must be legit. They're texting my phone. They're texting everybody's phone. Like, they have the power to be like, put a message through to your phone, whether you want it or not.
Dude, government could send a bomb across the world in seconds.
Yeah.
They could text me.
They could text me. Yeah, exactly.
They could do all this shit.
That needs to be the meme. That's the meme. But it's like, I don't want anything in return. But there are some people who freak the fuck out when that shit happens. And like you said, it's a little jarring, whatever, when you hear the loud noise and you're like, the fuck? But the thing was like, that one came through when we were like, when we needed it the most. When we needed it the most. That fucking text came through. That fucking push notification came through and was like, evacuate LA. It didn't even say where.
Yeah.
It's like, time to evacuate LA.
Evacuate the largest county in the United States of America.
And like, even though I'm in Long Beach, we're still in LA. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, guess it's time to go. And I'm like, and it says nothing else.
Did you get that app?
Well, I just got it right now.
Good,
yeah.
You got it.
It says nothing else, but it has like a link. Yeah. And so I clicked the link, and it like wasn't work. Like everyone was clicking the link, and it was like, what the fuck? And then so we're like, okay, whatever. Nothing we can do about it, right? Like it like let's check some other shit, make sure we're good. And,
is a ticket master to El Segundo.
Right? Exactly. And I was like, whatever. So we kind of forgot about it for a second, and then another one came through for Long Beach.
Yeah.
And it was like, anyone in Long Beach, evacuate now. And I'm like, I just didn't know where else to look for that type of information. And when you get those texts from the like official, we're texting your fucking phone, we're not even a contact.
Yeah.
And we're contacting you. It's just like,
I think it's good for everyone to be on edge and aware, to be honest.
But it's
because
just...
the thing that changed my mind about any inconvenience posed to my phone for a second of that shit going off was going to the edge of my street right before we left for the second time and looking to the left. So where I'm at and where we're at, it's like us, and then there's a hill. Mm-hmm. And then there were like these Mordor looking flames at the top of the hill at night, and the biggest plume of smoke I've ever seen, tall, like into space,
like a volcano erupted,
and it was like glowing orange. And I'm like, yeah, good that I got woken up by a text.
Well, sure,
and it's like, not only like, even if I was way far away from that, it's good that everyone's kind of shocked into being like, this is happening right now. This happened to this area crazy unexpectedly. Wouldn't you want to like just be aware that this is happening before it gets anywhere close to you?
Sure.
Like being in the mindset of like, yeah, we're 50 miles away, but we might have to leave that's a good mindset.
Sure. Yeah, everybody should have had... I mean, everybody in LA, even if they were like, the fires will never fucking get to us, should have some kind of go bag, something that has like a change of clothes, maybe a little bit of water, a can of fucking beans or something.
Whatever's can in your of water. Bag.
But for us, it was just like, we had people with us that were like already freaked out, didn't know where to look for official information because the news was just fear-mongery shit all fucking day, every day for 4 days. And I'm just hearing now from you that there's an app that's good and works and is great. And I like didn't know about that, like when they were sending us these like evacuate LA things. And so we had people with us that were like, we don't know we don't know what to do. And all we want to do is look to some kind of authority to at least inform people what they need to do. But we also know that those people are like pulling their hair out trying to get these fires done and fires out and save lives and homes and animals and whatever. But it just proved that we're not prepared for shit like this.
Well, it's like it's different. There's like a literacy to knowing where to look for that stuff, and then there is all different levels in between. Like I have no idea where to look, and so but the government. There's government lines that are open. Like there are, like everybody has access to radio waves.
Sure.
So there's like government issued like frequencies that are always active that are that like you should know what those are for your area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it exists. Whether or not you know about it is different.
But it's like even those things were like, what do we? It just felt like overwhelmingly like there wasn't really anything in place for this type of disaster in Los Angeles. Like we've dealt with fire season here before. It the destruction of homes and properties and stuff. It happens with the fires we get here. There's a lot of vegetation. We get not very much rain, so it gets very dry. And so it's all like really flammable shit. So we know about that, but this is the worst it had ever been, like in our lifetime, in a lot of people's lifetimes. And it just felt like there wasn't really like a thing to do other than like just be smart, like you said, like be aware of your surroundings, and if it looks like Mordor is right next door, then you get the fuck out of Dodge. That's smart. But like, some people who were like in areas that you looked at that map and you saw like a picture of fire, but then everything around it is like red as fuck on the map, and you're like, well, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean that like it's okay for me to drive into work tomorrow? It's okay for me to like, are the freeways going to be open? Should we leave the freeways open for the first responders and the police to get around? So it's
good, man. If you live in a place that's like California is fire prone, it's earthquake prone. Like you voluntarily live here knowing that this is what happens at this part of the country. You should have a plan, like an evacuation plan, and you should like know where to look for information.
Totally.
Like that.
Totally.
That's just that. Are your parents good?
They're good. The air quality really sucks over there because the Malibu is pretty close. All the Palisades fires like blowing over Oxnard, Ventura County and shit.
Yeah.
And the Santa Anas, like even on their own, are like pretty bad.
Yeah, just
even
fucking palm trees falling over.
Yeah, and power
a lot of people
lines.
don't know palm trees are like, it's like a small city building.
It's
sometimes.
a weapon. It becomes a weapon.
Dude, those things will fuck you way. Even if just the palms fall off, by the
Concussion.
time they hit the ground, concussion, dude, that thing will slice your fucking face open if it wants. But your mom, I hit her up on Instagram.
Aw,
and
that's nice,
Yeah,
man.
dude, because it was, I saw like where
Yeah.
stuff was going, and she was like, we're okay, mijo, and then you can come stay with us if you want. And then I saw like the direction of the wind, and I was like, no, I'll be all right.
No, you're good. You're good.
I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah. Well, they like my brother is like
And your brother.
he's on top of this shit. He's
of course,
very
yeah.
like my kids.
Anyone
are,
with meta glasses
yes,
knows
exactly.
where the wind is coming from.
Exactly. He's like, I'm protecting my children.
Yeah.
I'm protecting my wife. I'm protecting my parents. I need to make sure everybody's okay. So he hunkered them the fuck down, dude.
Yeah,
like they're sealed up and they've got filtered air conditioning and they've got air purifiers. Air bearers.
Yeah, bear dares.
Air bear darers.
Yeah.
Dude, I need to fucking get one. I never even thought about it, really. I'm like, whatever, man. We're breathing in fucking space cum.
Yeah, dude, we gotta catch you up a little.
Catch me up on some of these creature comforts, like air filtration.
I figure if there's if something big went down, I go to the library, look up the Dewey Decimal System, find a book.
How do I learn about the Dewey Decimal System? Dude, I didn't fucking... We grew up like... We had bars on our fucking windows, and we were living in... Some people were asking us why we've been pre-recording the ads, and it's kind of inside baseball, I guess, but... because by now we do the ads or something, or we've done the ads or something, but we're 47 minutes into the show, and it's like, the ads should go at the halfway point in a show, like, just for marketing and all those things that help a show work, like this one. Thank you. And we just don't know. We'll go into the 50-minute mark and be like, oh shit, I guess we'll do ads. And that's no good. So
Yeah.
we just do them later so that we can throw them into the 30-minute mark.
And if you want to stop hearing ads and you don't want us to deal with that anymore,
Join
hit
our
up our
fucking
Patreon. Because it really is like... I don't know what the best way to say this is.
What kind of music do you want to say this?
Because I don't know, Steve, I can't say all the things I want to say on a show with ads. I said a little bit of it on
I know.
Mike in the Morning on Tuesday. But if you want to support someone that makes creative stuff, to a certain extent, to earn a living wage, they're going to be at the behest of like some kind of sponsor, some kind of entity that has more money than them. You have to like acquiesce to the way that things are because that's where the money's coming from. And you have to break from your creative whatever. I like pre-recording the ads because if we're on a roll, then we just keep going and we don't have to be like, okay, let's stop talking. Let's stop laughing for a second.
Yeah.
So we could do this. And I know we do the ads in a unique way and we laugh sometimes. And a lot of times, more times than you guys will ever know, that costs us money.
It does. We get in trouble, man.
And we're not rich.
We're not.
And we live in LA. So tell your friends.
Yeah. Don't think just because we live in LA that we're good.
No, not even close. So it's like, if you really want to like monetarily help the show, obviously if you want to get a t-shirt or something, if you want to come see us live, those are both great. If you want to do it on a like a reoccurring basis, it's why we work so hard on the Patreon stuff. And that really is like the lifeblood of the show. It's how we pay everyone who helps us make the show. And, it's not a living wage for any of us, but it helps all of us out a lot. And it's also like we can do whatever we want. We don't have to
yeah.
like not say a certain thing or
Yeah.
be a certain way because a sponsor might pull money from us weeks later. You know, it's like legit. That is like the dream way to fund the show.
It would be cool to get to a point where the Patreon is enough of a stabilization to put bread on Kevin and Leah and Corey and everybody's table.
Everyone loves bread.
But I want that bread to have like butter and maybe some oregano, maybe a little chopped up. What are we talking here? A little garlic.
You
Maybe
can
a
put
little
meat
garlic.
in the middle
Maybe
of the bread.
maybe meat, and it would be cool to get to that point where we don't have ads anymore. We don't need ads anymore, but we could do like fun made up ones or something, you know, because we don't.
Or stuff for like stuff that we handpick.
Yes.
A business is like, we want to run ads. How much does it cost to run ad space on your show?
Yeah.
And we have like a personal relationship
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
Like Chef's Table in Fairfield, Connecticut.
I love that. Or,
I'm just trying to think of like local businesses.
Well, I'm thinking of Topper's Pizza is like it's like a Ventura County thing.
Yeah.
They're not like they haven't blown up outside, and I love me some Topper's Pizza.
Should we check in on them? Make sure they're okay.
Yeah, I'd love it. Let me just call and be like, yeah, I'm not trying to order anything. Just to make sure you guys are good.
Hey, you guys okay? Yeah? Okay, can I get 2 large cheese?
I hate to put someone on the spot and in any way ever.
But you want to call Nick.
But I think we should call the mayor. Do you think we could call the mayor and ask him about the fires?
Dude, so busy right now.
I know, but maybe we could get through. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can get in there. Oh my god! Mayor! Oh my god, it's so amazing. We got the mayor. Hey, yes, we hear you. Are you busy?
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor, is there anything we can do? Can you give us anything as citizens to help with the city?
Am I alright? There I go.
It's always good to get an official, though.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
that's an
and not
exclusive
everyone.
thing.
That's why you got to follow the app, because you can't just call the mayor
Right,
during a
right.
crisis.
I guess that's true. I guess it was my bad to think we could talk to him. But
I wonder how many terrible things just happened because you
it
took his
took away.
attention away.
There was a call that didn't go through. When does he ever not answer the phone, though?
I saw him on the news with Jacob Soberov, and he was on the front lines.
The mayor.
He's pissing
Oh,
on the
damn.
fire.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm wasting my own water.
He was He had a 5th of whiskey up like this, and he was pissing on the fire. Like a factor. He was like a super soaker himself.
Dude, so I know we talked a lot about the fires and shit, but it's really not, again, like whenever something affects our home, it's just unavoidable. We want to talk about it and shit.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are like, I'm sick of this and it's scaring me.
No, well, just don't ever watch the show again.
Yeah, don't ever watch the show again if you don't like hearing what we want to talk about.
It's
That
tough.
makes sense.
It's tough to not talk about the fires when you're surrounded by them.
Well, and also,
Speaking of which, on the 7th,
there it is. There it is.
come be surrounded by the audience at the Surrounded Crowdwork Show, Hollywood Improv Lab.
I wanted, if it's okay, if there's time, maybe we could do like one history road.
Please.
And while we transition into that, I actually wanted to mention, Mike, that I don't know if you remember that you suggested a movie to me quite a while ago that I think maybe you watched on a plane or something. Thelma.
More Diaries of a Call Girl?
That's not the one.
Thelma, I remember
Thelma.
that. Yeah.
And I remember it's rare when you mention a movie and it strikes a chord with me because I love movies so much that
Yeah.
when friends who aren't super big movie people mention a movie, it
Yeah.
means something's good about that.
Uh-huh.
And it made me want to see it for a very long time, and I didn't get a chance until last night. And I fucking loved it.
Dude, great.
It's so good.
Isn't it? I always get like, because I'm so not in it and I don't know what my opinion means. I
Sure.
just have this very far away opinion of movies.
Sure.
And then that movie came out and it came and went and I never heard anything about it afterwards.
Dude,
so then
yeah.
that makes me go, well, I enjoyed it, but I saw it kind of under weird circumstances. And like, what is my opinion matter at all.
Yeah.
Because it just went away. So it must have been like
It was
some
special.
kind of flop or
It was
whatever.
special.
Oh, good. You liked it.
Yeah, and we watched a little bit of the trailer, and we were like, "That's it. We don't need to see any more of this trailer. Like,
Yeah.
we're in." Because I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It's literally like
Just like zany.
it's like John Wick, but with a super old lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not. I
It's
wouldn't.
like action thriller, comedy, like parody action thriller.
Yeah, and she's doing all of her stunts, dude. She said, and I believe it because they're like the most unimpressive stunts you've ever seen.
The stunt is like walking from one end of the room to the other.
Dude, there was one. Remember when she, dude? That it's good. It's a really good movie
Yeah, it's
because there's
fun.
that moment where she needs to like roll to like get somewhere, and they've got this like action music playing, and she's rolling as fast as a 93-year-old woman would roll.
Yeah.
And they're not even cutting away or making it look cool or using stunt doubles or anything. It's literally this woman like doing that, and it's like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's fun.
I loved it. I love seeing that. Also, maybe saying it's like a John Wick is a little too hyperbole because it's like, don't expect it to be like a murderous action movie. It's like literally just this old lady taking matters into her own hands.
Dude, I don't want to say anything about it because
know.
I saw it under the circumstance. Like I do this thing every once in a while. Like if I have a show in Irvine or something,
Yeah.
you know the Irvine Spectrum.
Yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
across from the Improv, there's a gigantic movie theater, and a lot of times, like I'll get there hours early to beat the traffic,
There you go.
and then I'll
That's-
just go sleep in the movie theater while whatever's playing. But this particular time, I couldn't get to sleep. So literally just going by the poster, I was like, "Oh, this will be fun."
Amazing.
And then I couldn't sleep, and I watched the movie, so I had zero expectations of what the whole thing was.
You went from the poster. That's like
Yeah.
the 1970s.
It's the best.
Like imagine in this, like seeing the Ghostbusters poster and
Yeah.
knowing nothing about it.
Yeah.
You're like, what? And then that's
They don't
all-
allow ghosts in this movie.
There's no. They don't like ghosts. They don't allow ghosts.
They don't allow ghosts to smoke in this movie.
I think we hear that one a billion times. Do you got any different ones in here?
Just play a song that has nothing to do with it. I wanna know what love is.
I want to take a little time. All right, whatever. Let's do this one. We haven't heard this one in a minute.
Simply having a wonderful
Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Mike.
having a wonderful
Halloween.
Okay, so I have to acknowledge, Mike, that and I apologize to you if it's not the most interesting thing in the world that that your friend is living with a cat for the first time in his life.
It is interesting to me. I like the updates.
Okay, good. So
If it lasts 90 minutes, I might zone out.
okay, it shouldn't be 90 minutes, but I just wanted to say to the audience that I did a big call to action. We did a CTA on this cat business. And I was just like, give me your cat stuff because I need to make a connection with this cat.
Yeah.
And I want things to run smoothly. My girlfriend loves this fucking cat. So, I want to respect that love.
Dude, and then you were like, and then somebody wrote down like what their body movements mean.
And I'm like, fuck you.
And you're like, what the fuck
what
do
is
you
this
know?
shit? Well, I didn't understand. I'm just a baby. Okay?
I know, dude.
I didn't understand, and so this is what I want to say. I want to give proper acknowledgement to the people who sent in things because I made such a big stink out of wanting to get cat history roads.
Yeah.
And then we read like maybe 1.5 of them on the last show. And I just wanted to acknowledge that, because I think what's happening is I'm at a place where at this point now, we're like 2 months into living in this place, right? What are we in? January? Yeah, November, like mid-November. So we're hitting like the 2-month mark here. And so, that's 2 months with this cat. And so there's progress for sure. But I think we've hit a wall where I don't know if I'm going to get any further with this cat loving me because I think I've gotten it to its actual comfort level of loving humans.
There's no way to know.
Well,
There's no way to know. Everything that's happened in these 2 months was completely unknown by the beginning of the 2 months.
Well, for sure.
So you fast forward out 2 more months and a million other things might happen that you can't possibly predict.
I'll acknowledge that. But the thing that I'm basing this off of, you're right. Like, mostly I don't know. But what I do know is that Haley has had this cat for a minute. Like, I want to say maybe almost 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. And so that's 3 years of bonding with this cat. And I see that she has the same, like, maybe I'm not exactly where she is with the cat, because I've seen her pick up the cat with ease and like hold the cat and then like give her a little pet, and then cat will go, nope. And then she'll go like, okay. And then she'll very gently let her down, and that's it.
Sounds like a cat.
And I want to hold that cat so bad, Mike. I want to hold it.
Dude, this is like Lenny of my
son. And I didn't hold it too hard.
Yeah.
I held it too
and
hard.
Then I get to tend to rabbits.
I'm in trouble because I held it too hard. I want to hold this cat, Mike. That's it. I just want to hold it.
Why?
And because I have this, like, I grew up with dogs and animals that you could, like, do that. Yeah. And I find, I'm a very huggy guy. I like a hug. I like a physical touch, whatever. And so I just want to give, that's how I give love, is a nice little hug or whatever. And this little animal and we have this understanding now. She's chill with me. I got a little swipe the other day. It happens still. And I'm just going to have to get used to the fact that this might happen. But then I'm like looking on TikTok and shit, and I'm seeing people with their cats, and they're like doing little belly rubs.
Other cats with other personalities.
I know, but
different as human beings.
Well, for sure. But I'm just like, man, I just know I'm not going to have that with this cat.
Yeah.
And I'm like I'm in the acceptance aspect of that part. But I see Haley pick up, like, Haley's just obviously further along with bonding with this cat. And so she's able to pick up the cat. But I saw her the other night try to pick up the cat, and I heard a fucking like a fucking hissing, like fucking someone let the air out of the fucking cat tire. You know what I mean? And so even Haley has moments with it where it's like it just doesn't want it.
Yeah.
But I want to get to a point where I can hold this fucking cat. And that's where I'm at. Like, we're mostly chill. We have an understanding. I certainly love the animal.
Uh-huh.
But I'd like to get there. So anyway.
This has been.
And so Eric, we got a boy named Eric here. Shout out to Eric one time. Dude, what the hell even was that?
I don't know.
And Eric says, how a cat basically ruined my relationship.
Damn, dog.
Please help. So we're asking for advice here. And Mike, I don't know, man. I think you know a little bit about giving a little bit of advice, man. I think I've seen you do it on the internet every once in a while.
You need to fill it with your cum, Kevin.
What does he say at the end?
Kevin. The Dear Monk and Street. Longtime listener, second time history wrote her. Steve, you recently talked on the podcast about the difficulties of adjusting to living with a cat, and then not long after, got a little berated for it by some listeners. I did get, we put a clip up, and it was like, my girlfriend was mad at me, and so many people were mad at me, because I'm like, fucking cats are little demons. And it's just like, careful with the cat army, bro. You can't fucking kick the hornet's nest there.
You can't get the kitty's nest.
Get the kitty. You can't kick the kitty cat. And so Eric says, I'm here to say, you don't have to feel crazy or guilty for expressing these feelings. I myself have had very similar feelings when it comes to cats, and I relate to your experience very much. Well, finally, for once. Fuck, man. God damn. I thought my brain went into the toilet. I don't want this history road to go too long, so I'll summarize. But before I do, I just want to clarify. I am not writing this email suggesting that you break up with your lovely girlfriend. Well, I fucking hope not. God damn. Trying to break me up, bro?
But I do suggest you stop talking.
I do suggest you take a break. This is more of a cautionary tale, or maybe you and Mike could tell me if I was in the wrong. Okay, sure.
Oh, no. Have your shit figured out before it gets to the show.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to give advice. That's not what this show's about.
I'll tell you right now. I'll say it into the microphone.
Okay, go for it.
We need a theme. Steve lives an hour away.
I do.
I'm in the middle of several fires. We've been evacuated twice. Okay? Have your shit figured out before it gets to our desk.
That's right. Don't
I can't figure your shit out for you right now.
Mike can't do it anymore.
I can't.
Mike can't do it anymore. He's done it. He's done giving advice, especially for free.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Great point.
So firstly, I like you, Steve. I do not hate cats, although I'm not a fan. It's scientifically known that cats are in fact demons and hell spawns. But even demons deserve love too.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
what are you basing that on?
That's a good question.
Like, for real, what's your think about another demon who you're like,
I know
they
that
deserve more
demon.
love.
I guess if you're referring
Hitler deserved more love.
Yeah, maybe dude, there are people like that. I mean, there is this argument to be had about like childhood affecting you into being like a murderer or some kind of sociopath.
Yeah,
asshole.
nothing is your fault.
Right. But certainly there's accountability. But I'd say, being raised a certain way, maybe something could be helped there. Who knows? There is a weird correlation between bad family life and a lot of these like weirdos. But anyway, however, it's not about me not preferring them, but rather, unfortunately, my body's extremely allergic to cats. Okay, well, that's a real problem for sure. At the time, my girlfriend of almost 4 years and I were getting pretty serious. The fucking room tone. And she wanted me to move in with her. Cool. Big move, bro. And I know she had also expressed wanting to get a cat. I told her that it would be difficult for me as my body can only tolerate it so much, and it would make me uncomfortable on a daily basis. That's fair. I didn't wish to subject myself to that. And after being upset about this, one day my girlfriend decided to bring home a kitten. Uh-oh. Well, that's kind of fucked up. Basically telling me her actions to just deal with it. I mean, I don't know. That sounds like your side of the story. Red flag number 1. Maybe. This hurt and frustrated me for a while, but I did what I could to accept the situation and try to build a bond with the little kitty. Things were going okay besides my skin and belongings sometimes getting scratched up.
You're medically allergic to cats, and your girlfriend just brings home a cat?
Yeah.
Break up.
Yeah.
What if your girlfriend was like, I will go into anaphylactic shock if there's peanut butter in this house.
Who wants peanut brittle?
You're like, guess what's for dinner tonight?
Pad Thai with peanut sauce.
You break up.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not going to make it.
Anyway, this guy said that it was fucking up his allergies and it was hard for him to breathe sometimes. God damn.
Your girlfriend prioritized having a cat around you above you breathing.
Of your own health. One day I expressed my frustration to my girlfriend as I did not want resentment to build between us.
Dude, they sit down at the table and they're like,
okay, his face is like this. Okay. I just want to way. I want you to feel hurt. I want me to feel hurt. Hey. Yeah, exactly. I can't listen to your tomato-faced ass. When you brought the cat home, it made me feel like
they're having like they're like in couples therapy.
Well, the thing is, she doesn't listen to my needs. Your feeling, and I'm feeling your feeling. The hands are like swollen. They can't even pick up their phone. Fuck, I need to call 911. I feel like this is actually your mother's heart. Maybe it's me. Holy shit.
That's the clip. Clip it.
Okay, and it also sounds like he said, hey, listen, this is a lot for me. And she said, I don't understand why you can't just get over it. Well, I can't even do that right. I can't do it. Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't do that? Just imagine I needed to do it. Now, there were other factors of incompatibility in our relationship that
I couldn't
surrounded
see
the
or
issue.
drive.
And however, the cat thing became way more of a problem for us than I anticipated, and it was clear to me that this was not healthy for either of us. I want to know how long that took.
3 years.
It doesn't say, but there is a phone number. A phone number at the bottom.
I don't know, but
Despite all of this, the truth is, I loved her very much, and I still do have a lot of love for her. But at the time, although it was devastating, it felt like the right thing to do. So, do you guys think I made a mistake? No.
what was the mistake?
Was I being a little bitch? No.
You go to therapy. Go to therapy, go to BetterHelp as soon as humanly possible and get some self-worth and know that you as a human being, your breath is worth, your body needs your breath. Your breath is worth having and prioritizing over someone who would jeopardize that because she wanted a cat. Just break up.
Yeah.
There's so many people in the world. Come to Human Romance. I'll hook you up with a firefighter.
And the thing is like, I get it, man. Like, everything else is great about this person. You love this person. You want to spend your life with this person.
Except for the fact where they don't care about if I breathe good or not.
Yeah. It's hard to do.
You're putting your health below. How big are the titties?
Yeah. And how good is that?
How good are the titties as well?
Please. All right. Well, thank you, Eric, for sending that in.
I hope Eric is still alive.
Eric, I hope you're okay. Yeah, I hope you're okay because
I hope you're broken up. Is that how that ended?
That is how that ended, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine how much better the second half of your life is going to be.
Yeah, you didn't make a mistake. Like, I think the mistake was not doing it sooner.
Anytime you breathe in from that day you broke up until you die is a gift you gave yourself by breaking up with that girl.
It's so fucked up to be like with somebody and they go like, "Hey, I'm deathly allergic," and then
you know what it is? It's like they probably in making that decision. I'll say it like this: if Zoya came home and I was like, "I'm deathly allergic to cats," and she just came home with a cat. Immediately in my mind, I'm like, she already is cool with us breaking up.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to do it.
Right. This is her way.
So she got a cat.
Yeah.
So now it's like, not only, are you putting the person in physical danger, but you're also like putting all the emotional weight of the ending the relationship on them and making it like it's their fault.
Yeah. I just thought you were different. I'm trying to hear you. No, I'm listening. I just can't breathe.
He gives himself like, I'm giving myself 3 EpiPens for this conversation.
Dude, that's $7,000. That's $7,000. Okay. Well, thank you for the History Roads, and also, good times. This is the Goodbye History Road. That is a real good one.
So goodbye, history.
Also, someone named Dan sent in a History Road that we should do this next time. That says, Macho Man had theater kid energy, prove me wrong. So we'll leave it at that, and then we'll come back to it. It's a big, long email.
He was an actor.
But you could still, I think you could be an actor, because, like, Anna Kendrick has theater kid energy.
Yeah, but, like, Anna Kendrick, for the well-being of her business, give me a role that she was in at some point.
Like Pitch Perfect, in the Pitch Perfect movies. She's the one that's like the lead of those, pretty much.
So, like, in order to protect the validity of the movie, she didn't have to pretend that she was Pitch Perfect girl for her entire career.
Yeah, that's true.
If she's acting like Pitch Perfect girl, it isn't to preserve the suspension of disbelief for the betterment of the, like, everyone knows that that's a movie.
Right.
Like, for most of
Okay.
Macho Man's career, he had to be that outside of the ring because people didn't know there was a suspension of disbelief.
I guess that's true. Yeah, like you don't. Right. That's part of the allure.
Same thing
of
with,
it.
it's like saying the Undertaker has theater kid energy. He had to be that. He, like, that was his job, was to commit to that.
Yeah.
He wasn't singing in Taco Bell.
But I guess if you're like a theatrical, if the type of, because I mean there are different types of like wrestler personalities too, right? Like, because I could almost say that anybody who wants to be in the entertainment industry has a little theater kid energy.
Yeah, they have a higher, they're prone to it.
Right? So it's like, it feels to me like maybe you could say that there is like, you could feel a bit of theater kid energy from someone, but have it not be overwhelming, I guess. I don't know.
If you're in the theater and you play Beast in Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah.
it's not essential to the well-being of the story of Beauty and the Beast that you are Beast in Taco
outside
Bell.
of the thing, yeah. Unless you're Daniel Day-Lewis, who famously played the Beast. Let's cut to a clip of that, I think.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
That guy's a fucking method actor, and I'm scared of him.
On the 17th, I'm headlining the Brea Improv with Willie Simon and Eric Rocha. It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be like Christmas again. On the 24th through the 31st, every night I'll be at the Stand in New York City, probably telling the story of the fires 7,000 times to my peers in the green room. On the 7th of February, it's the next Surrounded show at the Hollywood Improv Lab. Tickets for that are already going. A bunch of people hit me up after the last show and was like, we already bought tickets to the next show.
Fuck yeah.
On the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, it's my dating show, Human Romance, at the Comedy Store. On the 15th is the Siren Theater in Portland with Emily Browning and Noah Copford.
Fuck yeah.
Tickets for all that stuff will be at MikeFalzone.com. Please support our Patreon so we don't have to be a patsy for the man in the future. And then also we have a bunch of great stuff in the store right now. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm talking to Byron about making some new things. And if you're anywhere in Southern California, stay safe. And stay vigilant. Look up that fucking
that app, dude.
Watch Duty
I just
app.
got it.
And wherever you, in all different walks of life, wherever you can get just facts from the source, where you don't have to listen to other people's commentary on top of the facts, try to make that your news. And it's way less, it's like stressful, but it's less stressful than hearing people's commentary. Mm-hmm. And how that may or may not affect you. And it's also like it's a type of stress that is like, it's a functional stress level. Mm-hmm. It's not like emotional stress.
Right.
This stuff. Okay, hope everybody stays safe and not on fire at all times. Our hearts go out to everyone who has lost so much, an unimaginable amount in these fires. And it's right next door, literally. It's 2 miles away.
I'm just like, dude, I don't know who to pray to, because it's just like, I don't know. I don't think God's real, but I'll pray.
Maybe there's a rain one.
I'll put a rain god prayer out that these next couple of days with the Santa Ana's still blowing, there's no embers.
If people were really like the Jews control the weather, wouldn't the Jews have made it rain by this point
Right.
on LA?
Right. Because they live here too, you know. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, and just remind people that it's not all rich pedophiles in Los Angeles.
Please understand, it's not all rich pedophiles. They're definitely here.
They're here, yeah.
I mean, they're here. Aren't they everywhere, though?
Yeah,
Also,
they're wearing a trench coat and hanging out at a Starbucks.
right. And you can tell which ones.
Say it, they'll tell you.
They are not wearing shoes or socks under their big coat. Also, really quickly, shout out to Kevin, who's a little under the weather, and he wasn't in studio today, which was with the presence of his lack of presence here was felt.
Yeah, none of the cameras are pointing at us.
No, they're all out of focus. But goddamn it, Mike, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. You did the best you could, and thank you, Mike, for stepping up. And I hope, Kevin, that you feel better soon, my boy. We need you back here to get to fucking work.
Prayers for Kevin.
Get to work, you fucking lay it out.
This has been awful.
Oh, shit.
That was a HeadGum podcast.